I'm Chip Freud, and this is the Artist Spotlight, conversations with contemporary artists based on 5 simple questions that explore the artist's journey, creativity, and sources of inspiration. Welcome to this episode of the Artist Spotlight podcast. Joining me today is Marcia Streithorst, an accomplished encaustic painter and art teacher based in Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome to the show, Marcia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, I'm so glad that we were able to get together, and I'm just super excited to learn more about you and your art through our 5 questions. But before we dive into the questions, why don't you give our listeners just a little sense of any current work that you've been doing or something maybe you've just finished?
Yeah, so I am always trying to work bigger. My favorite size is 6x6 and 8x8, but this year I've really been pushing myself to work a lot larger. So I have a couple of big paintings that I've started. So.
When you say big, how big are we talking?
30 by 30, that range, yeah.
Yeah, not an insignificant item on a wall. All right. Well, with that, let's roll into our 5 questions. That's really what this podcast is all about. So our first question is, what is your earliest memory of making art of any kind?
Probably with my mom. My mom always wanted to get into the arts, but she didn't feel like she was good at it. So honestly, looking back, I think she had really good natural instincts on colors and stuff like that. So that's it. That's probably my earliest memory. And then I won a couple of art contests and stuff like that. And so it was something that I was always naturally good at. So I did it in my free time and I loved it. So
what sort of things did you do early with your mom?
Well, it was small paintings for gifts and that kind of a thing, teachers' gifts and that sort of thing. And
presently, you're an encaustic artist. What brought you to that medium?
Well, my background is photography and printmaking, and I had actually never seen encaustic painting until I moved here to North Carolina. I'm originally from Ohio, and when I saw it, I pretty much fell in love with it because it's the mother of all mixed media. It just has this gorgeous luminescent quality to it. So yeah, once I saw it, I was pretty much hooked. And the artist that I saw was Victoria Premise. And I talked to her whole ear off for like an hour, and she let me touch some of her paintings and explained her process. And then I got so excited about it that I went out and I got some stuff. And then I took a class with Anna Podris, who used to be at Art Space, but she's still downtown. I think she's in like the C Collective or something like that, that's downtown. And she was so kind. I spent a whole day with her. She went through how she worked with it and how to safely set it up and all that stuff. And then I just kind of took it and ran from there.
Well, very cool. Very cool. Because it was a medium that I'd seen very rarely until I'd come to see your work at the gallery. And it's just really a fascinating medium to partake as a viewer, if you will. But before I forget, I also want to touch on, we've got a connection. I'm originally from Ohio as well. Born and raised in Cleveland, and then spent 7 years in Columbus.
Oh, my sister lives in Columbus. Yeah. So I'm originally from Dayton, and then I have in-laws that live in Cincinnati, and my sister's in Columbus. So we go all over when we visit.
I did my undergrad at Wittenberg in Springfield. So
I know where that is. Yep.
Excellent. Small world that it is. More relocated Yankees coming to North Carolina.
You know, it's the no snow and being able to drive to the beach. Seriously, I just...
Here to that.
I love it.
So what inspires your art? Where does it come from?
Yeah, Yeah, so I'm pretty much a technique junkie. So starting out, I wanted to learn everything that you could possibly do with this medium. So that was kind of the goal I set for myself. And then through that is how my paintings and processes have evolved. I love texture. And so, and I love mixed media. So I'm all about, playing with every tool that's in my toolbox.
Looking at the work that's behind you there, the trees and the butterflies or moths that are there, what inspired that specific piece? How did you come to the idea that you wanted to do that?
So art for me has always been kind of an escape. And so I like things that are right on that edge of realistic yet surreal, so that they have like a dream-like quality to them. And also, I always want my imagery to be uplifting. So that's kind of how that came about. It started out as a photograph of the trees in my backyard, actually, which are not aspens, they're pine trees. But from there, I embedded the photographs into the wax, and then I manipulated and painted on top of it. And encaustic is a very layered process. And my favorite thing is about when it comes to big paintings is that every time you walk past them, you see something new. So there's a lot of different papers and ephemera layered into that painting, along with the dried bark and moss and all kinds of little hints of colors, and that sort of show through in the different layers. So, oh yeah.
Okay, very cool. What advice would you give to an artist just starting out?
That it's a marathon, not a race. So don't burn out. Set goals every year that are achievable, and then go back and look where you started from if you're having a day where you think you want to quit.
No, I think that's some good advice. As a photographer, my work sticks around even when I sell it because I'm selling, prints. So I have those moments where, things aren't quite right, and I'll walk past some of my work and I'll kind of remind myself, okay, yeah, you got something here. And it's also fun to remember those moments when that creative process took place.
Yes.
Our last question is, what artist would you suggest our listeners go and check out?
Oh man, that one is so hard. There are so many artists that I enjoy. I got asked this question when I was in college and I gave the wrong answer and I had to reapply. So I always get a little nervous because of that when people ask me.
This is a wonderful situation. There is no right or wrong answer.
Well, that's what I thought too, till I tried to, till I was in college. But I like Chihuly, but I think it's really fun to go see local artists just to see what they're doing. Yeah, and we have so many talented local artists. Like Michael Mullins is a really good one. I'm always fascinated by all the tiny details and everything that is in his paintings. So whenever I see him, I always, spend like 15, 20 minutes in his booth looking at all his stuff. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, and the idea of this is simply to get everybody knowing more and more art, and not necessarily the right artists.
Right.
That's ridiculous in my opinion. But that's a great suggestion. And I love the idea of the local artists in general. Get to know the artists in your backyard.
Absolutely.
Well, believe it or not, we've come to the end of our time already. And this has been a fun romp through your creative process in your history. I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Thanks to our listeners as well for joining us for another episode. If you want to see some more of Marcia's work, you can check out her website, which is mjsworks.com, or you can see it in person at the Cary Gallery of Artists in lovely downtown Cary, North Carolina. Until next time, thank you again, and we're out. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Artist Spotlight with Chip Freund. Find accompanying blog posts at chipfreundphoto.com/blog, and you may subscribe to our show on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like listening.